Hello again, welcome to today's attempt at the Crosswordle puzzle. The idea here is to guess the two intersecting Wordles. The only other clue, apart from the fact that they intersect, is that they will be linked in some way. But of course, to start with, there are too many possibilities, so instead of thinking of themed words that would fit, I just like to go for words that don't duplicate letters and use a lot of different letters. So let's go for roasting and love. Love with an E, obviously. That tests a bunch of different vowels and some decent consonants. And we get a lot of information. So the yellow means it's in that word, but in a different position. And the orange means it appears in the other word. So that means in this word, we know, as well as the O, we've got to use the A, R, T, I, and L. That rules out quite a lot of things, doesn't it? But 8-letter words are quite difficult. I'm not particularly used to 8-letter wordles, so that might still be a challenge to think of the correct word. What do we know about the other one? We know it's got an S, but absolutely nothing else. That doesn't narrow things down too much. I think my first port of call needs to be to work out a possibility for this word. Something ending in trail, of course, could simply be the answer. It can't start with the R, and it's also not a T-I blank blank ending, so it's not a T-I-A-L ending, which is interesting. Could be an A-T-O-R ending. Then we would have to use the L and the I. So it would probably be L-I in there. Foliator? I don't particularly like the look of that, so let's get rid of all these letters and have another think. It's not an I-N-G ending, it's not an E-R or an E-D ending. That always makes it much more difficult to work out what the word actually is. So, what is a sensible thing to go for instead? There's got to be loads of words that use A, I, O, R, T and L. That's the problem. Is it going to be a compound word? Can't even be an ITY word, an ITY ending specifically, because the I isn't in sixth. Let's just put foliator back in and see if it gets accepted. It doesn't, it goes red. Okay, and even with the E rather than the O, it's not a word. That is a shame. What is a sensible thing to do instead? Oh dear. How about an ickle ending? What would that be? We would need the O, the R and the T. Oh, I'm thinking of tropical, aren't I? But of course the O is in the wrong position. It would have to be probably either an RT there, nautical, that's not how you spell it, portical is not a word. The T could be first. Oh dear, I don't think this is going to make a word either. Torpical. It's just tropical spelt wrong, isn't it? That's what I was thinking of. But again, that means it cannot end like that. How about that ending? Foliatry. Okay, let's just go for podiatry, because that's definitely a word. It's clearly not correct, because we know we have to use the L somewhere. But let's go for podiatry and soul, because at least those two are connected in some way. Well, there's no point going for soul, really, is there? Because I already know there isn't an L in this word. So let's go for sour, because there could be an R in both words. Oh, it is just soup. I did think of that, but I thought if I'm already testing the P in the other word, there's no point testing it in that word as well. Okay, so that word is definitely soup. And this word, I'm no closer to working out what it is. I've still got these same 5 letters all in yellow. What kinds of soup are there? I do not know enough kinds of soup. That is the thing here. Forktail. That's not a word, is it? No. Unsurprisingly, it is not a word. Oh, and the T can't be there either, so it's not even something like cocktail, with a different kind of word before the tail. Oh, what kinds of soup are there? Potato, tomato, there's just so many vegetables. Pumpkin, that's not going to fit, obviously. Oh, I do not know. What is a sensible tactic in that case? Do I just go for a bunch of new letters? Do I try to put the letters that I've got in a new position? I'm sure I'm going to be kicking myself when I work out exactly what this word is, because it must be something I've heard of. Coat tail? Coat tail is a word, obviously. Let's just try it to hopefully get some greens. We do have a duplicated T. That is interesting. That must... is it tortilla? I think it's going to have to be tortilla. I don't know what tortilla soup is, so maybe I'm not going to be kicking myself so much after all. I've never heard of tortilla soup. I mean, they're both foods, so maybe that's the link. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Either way, we get there in 4, which is not my best, but not a complete disaster. But that was tricky, required a lot of thought. Let me know if you were shouting tortilla at the screen, in which case, really well done. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.